Hey, how's it going? Mr. Transformer here, aka Magnetic Mind Certified Coach Rhapsody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you for taking the time. Please like the video, please share the video, please comment on the video so the algorithm can get it out to more people. And today, for some strange reason, I just randomly thought of this one moment with my dad. For those who don't know, I've been involved in 12-step recovery for going on, let's see, this year will be 39 years. And early on, I believe it was right around year two, my dad was doing some driving around because he had retired and he was just driving around visiting people. So he stopped by and to see me while I was in Virginia. And he went to a meeting with me. And it was not unlike, remember when you were in like 10th grade and say your dad had to come in for a talk because the teacher, it was the bring your dad to school and tell the class what he does for a living type thing. And the whole time you're sitting there, you're just like, God, please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me. And that's where I was with it at the time. And he shared, of course, because that's what he does. That's what Barreros do. And he was a deacon at the time. Of course, he's talked a bunch of different places, preached a bunch of different places. But he brought out the point. He congratulated the entire room for having a made up mind. And when he said that, if it wasn't me sitting in there as his son, as the person who brought him into the room, I would have probably been very much moved by that sentiment, along with the congratulatory accolades and whatnot. But of course, at 2 years sober, I'm sitting there like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And then, well, not then, but now, today, when I reflected on it, like so many times, we reflect on things that our parents tell us when we're older and wiser, and it makes sense. I was like, he was right. And let me tell you how. Well, because the thing is, all right, for those who don't know, or for those who don't have a challenge with getting over addiction or getting over alcoholism, or those who don't have people in their family with the challenge of getting over alcoholism or getting over addiction, it seems like they're always like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and they never seem to get to the point where you, as the sane person, that's another topic, you're actually the enabler, but moving on. But you, as the alleged sane person, are sitting there thinking, why can't they just get it? I get it. I don't have to drink. I don't have to do drugs. Why can't they stop drinking? Why can't they stop doing drugs? What's the deal? And the deal is simply this. For me personally, I don't know about anybody else. I can only talk about me. We share our own experience, strength, and hope, okay? And I just know for me, it was like this. I had gotten into some trouble while I was in the military. I was in the Marines for 6 years. And eventually, the trouble that I was getting into got to be more consistent to where they said, you need to go to meetings. And I was like, I don't want to go, but if you're making me go, I'll go. So I went, but I wasn't serious. I was going because some authority person told me to go. So I went and got my little piece of paper signed. And amazingly enough, I like to tell people, even when I wasn't serious, this thing was still working on me. Because I like to tell the two separate instances where, like the first instance, I showed up for a meeting, and where I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina, the place where they had meetings was literally right down the street from the Strip. And I went to the meeting thinking to myself, well, I'm going to go to this meeting because they're making me go to this meeting, but after this meeting, I'm going to the Strip. After the meeting was over, for some odd, unknown reason, I know it's God now, I didn't know then, but I was just like, at the end of the meeting, I was like, nah, I'll just go home. So I just went back to the barracks. The second instance, I showed up for a meeting drunk, with every intention of continuing said drunk after the meeting. I ended the meeting sober and decided, well, I'll just go back. I'll just go home. And that's how that went for those two instances. The difference with this particular stretch of time in recovery was this. I had my last drink the morning before I went into treatment, September 29th, 1985, at 8:30 a.m. You're like, 8:30 a.m.? You were in the military. How could you pull that off? Skill. Dumb skill. Yeah, the night before, I had picked up a 6-pack of tall cans of private stock, and I had a 40 ounce of private stock, and I saved the 40 ounce till the morning, so I knocked out the 40 ounce that morning. I went to go to the van to get transported to the treatment facility at 9:45. As I'm walking through the courtyard, having already consumed my 40 ounce, been happy with that, thrown away the evidence. As I'm walking across the courtyard, I had the thought in my head, well, I guess that's it. From that point onward, I had zero challenges staying away from a drink or a drug or any mind or mood altering substance, because I had a made up mind. And for some people, it might be like, oh, you're special. Okay. Think of it like this. Okay, because for me, after that day, walking across the courtyard, literally throwing in the towel, alcohol and drugs were no longer on the list of solutions to life problems for me. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, they keep it on the list of solutions for life problems for them. It's a personal choice. You're like, it's a disease, man. Okay, little bit of truth here. They call it a disease so that they can charge the insurance companies. Otherwise, we'd all just be dead in the street somewhere. Okay? Okay. All right. The story I like to link to the idea of having a made-up mind is me roller skating. Anytime I'm roller skating. Seemed like ice skating wasn't as hard, but roller skating was a little harder. But for me, roller skating, that little bar along the edge of the rink, I lived on that bar. I moved and breathed and had my being along that bar. Amazingly enough, or oddly enough, or as life would have it, eventually, I would drum up the courage to let go of the bar, get a little balance, and just get out and start skating with everyone else. Sure, there's going to be other more experienced people. I was going to say younger people, but I was young at the time. There's going to be other more experienced people that are just sliding by me. And thank God they have enough common courtesy to not come too close. Otherwise they wind up getting snatched up in the throat and coming down to the floor with me. But no, they might go by me, having their good time, and that's great. And eventually, I too would begin to have a good time. Just going around in circles. Did I ever try the backward thing? I don't remember. I want to say no, but maybe I did it once. Did I do the swirl your foot thing to give you up some speed? Maybe I did that once, maybe. But normally it was just regular skating. And I didn't really thoroughly enjoy the skating rink until I got away from the edge of the rink. Once I was in the middle of the rink, I got to enjoy myself. So the analogy is, it's like they say about the chips that we get at meetings. If you get the old school chips, they're just like poker chips. They're smooth in the middle and rough around the edges. That's why we try to tell people. That's why we use those, because they're smooth in the middle and rough around the edges. If you're working a program, if you're showing up for meetings, if you're staying away from a drink or a jug one day at a time, if you're working with a sponsor, if you're working steps, if you're building a network of people to help support you in your journey, you're in the middle. And it's smoother in the middle. If you're trying to half-step it, if you're trying to fake it until you make it, man. I mean, that can work for some people. I just never tried. No. But I'm just telling you my personal experience. So, for a lot of people who have a challenge with staying clean or staying sober in their mind, they still need to hold the rail outside of the rink. It's still on the list of solutions to the challenge of moving through life. The only way it's going to work for you is if you get to a point, or just make a decision. As my boy Charlie Tremendous Jones used to say, it's not our job as adults to make a decision, to make right decisions. It's our job to make decisions and make them right. So you make a decision, make it your decision, not some authority figure, not some family member, not some partner of some sort. Your decision. You make a decision, make it your decision, and die by it. The beautiful part is, if you're connecting with people, if you've developed a community, you don't have to die by it. You can just make a phone call. And the beautiful part about making phone calls, oh goodness. So many people, they say, I didn't want to call you because I didn't want to bother you. Oh my goodness, it reminds me of something I used to hear from Clancy Imislund. He used to be a really big deal AA speaker. I think he died somewhere in the early 2000s. And he would clown on his sponsees, the people he sponsored, calling him saying, I'm drunk. I just didn't want to call you when I was sober. Stupid. What people don't realize, it's a two-way street. You think you're bothering somebody just by calling them. And what's actually happening is you are helping that other person who might not have reached out on their own, who while they're helping you, wind up getting help for themselves. And the other cue, the other clue, the other little secret about calling somebody else, you don't even have to tell them that you're having a problem. You could just say, hey, how you doing? I was just thinking about you and thought I would give you a call. And they could tell you about their day. And then maybe you could get around to telling them about your day. If you're having a challenge, maybe you can share the challenge with them if you want to. You're going to feel better at the end of the phone call, whether you share your challenge or not. But by that time, you've already developed a rapport and you have no challenge, or ought not have an issue with sharing your challenge with the person that you're calling. And they're like, oh my goodness, I was just there last week. Let me tell you what I did. Oh my goodness, I was recently talking to a person that I sponsor who was just there last week. Let me show you what we worked out together for them. Try that, see how it works, call me back. It's dirt simple. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to die because a lot of people have entirely too much ego in play. Still, after having gotten a DUI, wrecked a car, maybe injured someone, maybe ending someone, putting them in the position that they're in today, and still feeling like, I'm above this. No, you ain't above jack shit, buddy. Understand that shit right the fuck now, okay? Okay. No joke. We are all at the same level. Even me, coming up on 39 years in this deal, I am still one day at a time. Staying away from a drink or a drug one day at a time, building my spiritual condition, reaching out to people, and doing the damn thing. And that's how we stay happy, content, sober. Because one of the issues that we talk about is being a chronic malcontent. Part of being a chronic malcontent is being in your own little corner, stuck in your own little pile of shit, and just refusing to ask for help because then you think that makes you look weak. I'm here to tell you, after decades of going to meetings, the meetings that I've gotten the most out of were the meetings where I showed up. They would say, if your ass falls off, bring it to a meeting and we'll help you sew it back on. Meetings that I've gone to where my ass has fallen off and I'm carrying it in my arm and I'm saying, hey guys, I'm here. And they know me as the guy that normally would have an answer. And today is my day to get the answer because today I don't have it. It's a give and take thing. Really. Okay, I literally don't feel right trying to promote anything behind this, so I'm not going to. Except for one thing that doesn't make me any money, but it'll help a lot of people. And this company has come out with AI vending machines. You have the option of either buying shares or pre-ordering a machine. Shares are going for $9.95. If you pick them up before the end of the month, they're $7.95. So just off the rip, you got a 20% increase. And then once this thing kicks in, and once people realize how amazing this is, it's just going to be like wildfire. And if you happen to have an extra $175,000 or $225,000 laying around, they can find you a good location, and you can go about the business of getting that set up. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Please like the video. Please share the video. Please comment on the video. And please sign up for the YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. At this one, we're sitting at like 46. I'd like to get more. I really would. Plus, that way it'll get the algorithm to have more of this stuff going out to more people. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video. Until then, do enjoy the rest of your day. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah.